was supposed to get married to my baby mother, and we had a son at 17 and she was 16. I was bisexual and she obviously knew that. At the time, when he was born, I thought, I know it sounds silly, but when I have my son, I'm going to be okay. But it doesn't make you straight, it makes you make a decision. You can't be bisexual forever. That's when I met Nigel. I loved him that much. I wanted to prove to him how much I loved him. And then getting married to him was a big thing in the back of my mind. Is this the right thing? Will my family disown me? And half of them disowned me because of it. My mum, she's an Irish traveller. She's really, really strict. Being bisexual or gay is not the one. And so I'd done the opposite. I didn't have my big fat gypsy wedding, I had my big fat gay gypsy wedding. I think what it is with Irish travellers, because it's a lot to do with, we don't want people to be looking at us in the outside world. Being gay is not allowed. Stephen's a great guy. He's been working there for about a year now. I knew straight away he'd do a good cover-up. I wouldn't just trust anyone. I have to have a good connection with a tattooist. So the stars were just part of the engagement, and that's why I had the initials of my partners. This year we divorced, so I wanted the initials gone so I could move forward.
Usually I wouldn't do a cover-up if I don't think it's going to work out well. For instance, today, because it's 3 stars, it's going to be better for me to draw that on, just so I can get it, because you've got to work with the gaps in the skin and everything. For me to draw something like that out and try and stencil it on probably isn't going to work as well.
The new tattoo, I googled it, and it's a Thailand Indian symbol of a goddess and a flower and water. Also a good symbol of surviving through hard times. The process for me was physically painful, but psychologically not. This year I've been through so much. It didn't hurt in my head. Towards the end, that's when the pain really got there.
For me, tattooing is something that's almost like an antidepressant.
Since I've had the cover up, my head feels all the memories are gone. They're still there, but you're not reminded of it every time you look at the name of the person you married and you're not with them no more. I wouldn't recommend it to get anyone's name, because nothing lasts nowadays. Marriages don't last, tattoos don't last.
I had it done when I was probably about 19 or 20, and I guess by the time I was 25, I didn't like it anymore. And then by the time I was 30, I hated it. I think it was virtually one of those things, when you go into a shop and say, I'll have that one. Well, I've spent the last 15 years of my life as a photographer, but now I've had a career change and now I've opened a shop, which is antiques and design and art and things like that. Sometimes I'd even, on the beach, I'd just put a Band-Aid on it or something. My dislike of it grew. And also, I keep dating boys with really good tattoos. It's really bad. And now I've had this hideous thing on me, so eventually I'm getting rid of it.
There's many reasons why people get cover-ups. Some things may be unsociable, some things may be because of a loved one that they don't love anymore.
James was amazing. The reason I went there was because I felt really confident with him, and I just liked his ideas.
You've obviously got a Japanese dragon there with 2 symbols. I think the best, obviously you wanted an anchor, a swallow and some old school things around it.
Because it's a cover-up, it's quite, a difficult procedure, I guess, for them. And, it's their name going towards something like that, so it has to look good.
I do a lot of cover-ups because I really enjoy it. To see the person happy afterwards gives me a lot of pleasure.
I live by the sea. I come from a naval family, and I just love, what an anchor looks like and what it symbolises. It's quite a personal thing. So. One of my friends is a journalist. We were on the beach in Italy. He'd come to stay at my house, and he was like, "Oh, Ian, you could be in my book." And I was like, "What's your book?" And he said, "Bad tattoos." I was like, "Really?" I wasn't going to make the same mistake again. I decided 2 years ago probably, I'm going to have an anchor. And then it was just Okay, let's see if in a year's time I still want to have an anchor. Okay, yeah, still do. Another year, yeah, still want an anchor. Yeah, this one really hurt. With this one there was lots of shading and different things, so he kept changing the needle. About 2 hours in, he changed to this one that was really different. I remember thinking, I was like, oh, a new form of pain. I have a tattoo of my mum's signature, and after she died, I just wanted it on me, and I wanted it somewhere where you never saw it, so it's under my watch. I always feel like she's close to me when I look down and see her name. I think they just kind of represent a kind of time in your life, don't they, you know, and maybe there's a reason I got rid of it this year and I didn't wait another year or something, you know. It does feel like, you know, it's symbolic of something.
Sometimes you build up friends with customers. There'll always be something between me and him because I've marked him for life.
The scars are from when I was a teenager because I was a very stressy individual. In another way as well, it's part of my past and I think it's made me who I am. My name is Freya and I'm 26 and I'm from Melbourne, Australia. I'm a veterinary surgeon. I like animals, they're pretty much my life. Since I've been a young kid, I used to just run away with the dogs when I was a child because I lived in a small country town in Australia when I was growing up, so I just disappeared for hours with the dogs. I wish I didn't do it now because of the scars, but I can understand that it was just a coping mechanism. And if I knew what I knew now back then, I would have used other coping mechanisms such as hard exercise and things like that, which get the same endorphin rush. I'm hoping that then when I have a tattoo, it will look nice obviously, but also when I see it, I'm hoping that it reminds me of the happy memories of the drawing, because the drawing has a big significance to me because I remember my boyfriend drawing it and it was a really happy night. And that's why one of my tattoos has an animal on it as well. My boyfriend drew it, so it's a tree and a cat because he loves trees, because he's a gardener. I'm doing pretty good. Yeah. I was expecting it to be a lot more painful, so it's bearable.
Yeah, so. That's good, that's good.
And it's more interesting, I'm just watching you do it, so that's keeping my mind occupied.
Yeah. Actually, it's working much better than I thought. Sometimes, depending the depth or the type of a scar, sometimes the ink spread a little bit because it's so many years, over 10 years, no? Yeah, about 10 years. It's completely perfect.
It hurt the most of a tattoo when he went over the scars. I think it is life-changing already because already it hides something about myself that I wasn't happy with, and it replaces it with something that I am happy with and has a lot of good memories for me. I don't think it hides the scars completely because if you look very closely you can still see them, and in a way I think that's a good thing as well because they're still a part of me.